Good morning, Store Nation. So, what we're doing today and the rest of the week is we're running through the industry report. I love when the industry report comes out. I geek out on it for days and days and days and days. And sometimes you might not notice something, but then when you go through it again, you're like, oh my God. So yeah, we're going to go through it, and there are only going to be very, very small, bite-sized chunks, and then we're going to do my thoughts and feelings overall of the industry as a whole. And yeah, because I think there's always something we can learn from it. So I took some notes here. This will be a maximum of 4 or 5 minutes, he says, but I'm going to do it this time. Right. So. By the way, if you want to head on over to mrselfstorage.com as well, we're doing a newsletter, give all my figures away, and we're talking of the industry report all week as well. Okay, so in 2024, the industry report last week came out, and we're talking today about churn rate. Churn rate is, I think it's incredibly important. And I went to my handy friend Google to explain exactly what churn is. So, because otherwise, if I explain it, I'm going to absolutely butcher it and confuse you. Google said churn rate is a calculation that shows the percentage of subscribers of a business that are leaving. Simple as that. Churn rate is a calculation that shows the percentage of subscribers that are leaving a business. So yeah, really, really straightforward. My churn rate is very, very high, but we'll go into that in a minute. The industry churn rate last year, so when the report came out for 2023, so that means the results of 2022, the churn rate was just 81%. Now, the report that came out last week for the industry for the year 2023, it had gone up to 98%. That was a massive increase of 21%. 21% increase is huge. However, I don't think it's as bad as we all think, because I put notes here that where's my notes? Oh yeah, here they are. Yeah. Yes, it's a big increase, but we have to remember these figures are coming from 2023. 2023 came after some incredible years for self-storage, the COVID boost. Everybody saw a COVID boost. It was massive for the industry. So 2022, when it was 81%, that's a year when the report came out in 2023. It was for the year 2022. It was only 81% churn. We've got to take into consideration that it was something to do with COVID. In 2023, last year, the churn rate has gone up massively to 98%, but you would expect that. And the reason you'd expect that is because I see self-storage as like a tide. It comes in and then it goes out at some point. So the inevitability happened last year. After the COVID bump, we got an influx of self-storage customers in 2020, 2021, 2022. It still happened. We still saw that little swelling. And at some point, that has to disappear. The tide of self-storage came out. And last year, the majority of people that I know lost square footage last year, including myself. And so that, I believe that's what it all was. And by the way, tide comes in, tide comes out, but you want to keep a little bit of that tide. You don't want to lose all the tide that comes in. Normally, you want to keep a little bit of that tide. But with last year, the churn rate was very, very high, but it was predictable. In my mind, the churn rate last year was predictable. So yes, a 20+ % increase in churn rate looks horrendously scary. But when you delve a little bit deeper and look into the reasons, I don't think it was that bad. In fact, I think it was predictable. And this next year, so this year we're in now, when the report comes out, I would suggest that the churn rate will go down. I think the churn rate will go down. In fact, I'm absolutely adamant. Nobody clip this up, by the way, and show me this next year, because I was devastated. Before we go, I just want to say about my churn rate. Willoughby, my churn rate is around about 130%. Beverly is around about 70%. The older a site is, the less the churn. The newer the site is, the more the churn. Obviously, apart from the first few months when nobody's moving out. So the older the site, the less the churn. The more mature the site, the less the return. The newer the site, the more the churn. So Beverly and Willoughby, absolutely nailless. 130% Willoughby churn rate, massive, whilst Beverly is below 70%. So that's huge. Yeah, so if I got anything else? No, that is basically it. Oh yeah, I've just put here, if my churn rate at Willoughby was just 8% per month, I would be bloody laughing. And that 8% a month equals 98% per annum. Anyway, my friends, that is it. I'm going to get going. I love you. I appreciate you. And tomorrow we will be talking. We'll be talking about something else in the industry. I can't remember what it is now, but yeah. So I love this data. I love the data. So we'll be going through it all week. All right, my friends. Love you. Appreciate you. Have a great day. Bye bye.